to all our viewers out there. My name is Heinrich Neetling, and this is Mathematical Literacy. In today's lesson, we'll be focusing on street maps, suburban maps, provincial maps, as well as national maps. Let us get the show on the run. Alright, so our first question here says, carefully study the map alongside, as we can see here, to answer the questions that follow. Now, when we look at this map, we'll see this is a national map, as it indicates all the different provinces. All right. What else is important here? We can see different national roads indicated here. We can also see some individual towns, as well as a scale. All right. And who can tell me what type of scale we are using here? I agree. That's a bar scale. So this is what is presented to us. Let us look at our first question. So in question number 1, we are saying determine the province that is southwest of the Free State and at the same time south of the Northern Cape. All right, so we need to find that province. Okay, so when we look here, north is facing upwards, as right, we normally know it. Okay, so the province that is southwest of the Free State. Okay, so where's the Free State? There. South meaning it's downwards, and west means it's to my left. So it will be, that is southwest, right? And then also that province, and it says here, and at the same time, south of the Northern Cape. Where is the Northern Cape? Here's the Northern Cape. So south means, if north is there, then it means south is here. Nah? So meaning, right, that will be south. So we agree that that will be the Western Cape. Right, so the Western Cape is southwest of the Free State, and at the same time, it is south of the Northern Cape. Okay, let us look at another question. In question number 2, it says, if the distance from Springbok to Johannesburg is 8 centimeters on the map, determine the actual distance in kilometers. Right? So we need to determine the actual distance in kilometers. So let's quickly see Springbok and Johannesburg, right? So here is Springbok, and Johannesburg is all the way up here in Gauteng. So we are saying on this map, okay, the distance between these two places is 8 centimeters. Right, now in order for us to answer this question, we need to determine the scale first, right? So what I'll do is I'll convert from this bar scale into a number scale, and thereafter I'll go and use it to determine the actual distance. Now, first of all, I need to measure, right, my bar scale. So note you can measure from 0 to 100, 0 to 200, 0 to 300, entirely up to you, okay? It will take you to the same answer. So when I've measured that 1,5 centimeter equals, right, or is to 300 kilometers, right? That's the length of the bar is here, right? So now if I look at what I wrote here, there are two things that's not right, okay? So it's not indicated as a unit, meaning 1:2, right? And also my units are not the same. We agree, okay? So therefore, I will then keep the 1,5 centimeters, and I'll convert this to centimeters as well. Now remember, 100,000 centimeters equals 1 kilometer. So therefore, I'll take my 300 and I multiply it with 100,000. So that will give us 30 million. And please note, now both my units are the same. All right, so that will be 30 million centimeters. In order for us to get a unit, right, I will divide this 1,5 centimeters by itself. So when I do that, immediately I'll have 1 as an answer, right? So what I do on the left, I'll also do on my right-hand side. So I'll say 30 million divided by 1,5. Are we clear? So 30 million divided by 1.5. So that will give me 20 million. So therefore, the number scale then of this map is 1:20 million. Okay, so what will need to happen now? Now I know what the scale is. So therefore, I will take the distance on the map, the 8 centimeters, and I'll multiply by the scale first step, right? So therefore, 8 centimeters multiply by the scale of 20 million And then I'll do it in one step. I'll divide this by 100,000. Why? Because now I'm converting from centimeters to kilometers. Remember, a minute or two ago, I said to you, 100,000 centimeters equals 1 kilometer. Right, so just to repeat this step, I took the 8 centimeters, multiplied by my scale of 20 million, and I divide that. Remember, now my answer is still in centimeters, so I divide it by 100,000 to take it to kilometers. Okay, so let's quickly type that in. 8 centimeters multiplied by 20 million divided by 100,000. So when I calculate this, I get an answer of 1,600 kilometers. Guys, are we clear? So the actual distance, meaning the real life distance between these two places, equals 1,600 kilometers. Are we fine? All right, let's look at our next question. Question number 3 says, the actual distance from East London to Mossel Bay is 650 kilometers, right? Determine the distance on the map in centimeters. So let's understand the question. We are saying the distance between East London. So here's East London, and then there's Mossel Bay, right? This is the two places we are referring to. Equals 650 kilometers in real life. So we would like to know what is that distance, the equivalent, right, but on the map. Okay, so first of all, I'll take my 650 kilometers, and I will multiply that by 100,000. Remember now I'm converting this to centimeters. Okay? So therefore 650 multiplied by 100,000. That will give me an answer, and I'll write it here at the bottom, of 65 million centimeters. Right? Now remember, you would like to know what's your answer in centimeters here on our map. So therefore, remember in the previous question we said the scale of this map is 1:20 million. Right, so now I'm going to reduce that by saying 65,000 centimeters. I'll take that and I divide that by, so it's 65 million, right? And I divide it by my scale of 20 million. All right, let's type that in and see. Okay, and make sure that we have the correct amount of zeros there. So if I simplify this, I will get an answer of 3,25 centimeters. All right, I'll run through this again. Real life distance, 650 kilometers. What else do we know? That this map uses a scale of 1:20 million. First of all, I should note that my answer must be in centimeters. Okay, so from actual distance to map distance. So therefore, first point, I multiplied my 650 kilometers with the scale factor or the factor of 100,000 to convert from kilometers to centimeters. Right? Thereafter, I divided that centimeters, 65 million, with my 20 million, meaning this map or the scale of the map. And that gave me a map distance of 3,25 centimeters. All right, let us look at another question. So guys, here at question 4, I'm saying the distance between two places on a similar map, not this one, a similar one, right, is 40 kilometers. And the measurement on the map is 5,5 centimeters. So 40 kilometers, 5,5 centimeters on the map. This time around, determine the scale of the map. All right, so now we're working backwards, okay? So first thing is, let's quickly relate these two. By saying 5, we are saying 5,5 centimeters equals, right in real life then, 40 kilometers, because it's the distance between the two places. In real life, it's 40 kilometers, but on our map, it is 5.5 centimeters, right? So what will happen now? Let me write it in as a ratio, 5,5 is to 40 kilometers, right? So what is it that we need to do? Remember what I've indicated here is the first problem. It's not the same, it does not have the same units. We agree? What is the second thing that's wrong? It's not written as a unit. So therefore, first of all, I'm going to convert this 40 kilometers to centimeters as well. So I will keep my 5,5 centimeters, and I will multiply. Tell me, what will I multiply with? Yes, remember, from kilometers to centimeters now, 100,000 is our factor that we will use. So 40 multiplied by 100,000. Okay, that's too many zeros. 40 times 100,000. So that will give us 4 million. Right? And this is now also centimeters. So I got rid of the first problem. So now I just need to make sure I get 1 on my left-hand side. So how will I do that again? Yes, so therefore I will say 5,5 centimeters divide by itself. Soon as I do that, I will have here 1. We agree? So what I do on the left, I will also do on my right-hand side. So therefore here I will write 4 million divided by 5,5 as well. So let's say I already have 4 million on my calculator divided by 5.5. So when I do this, I'll get an answer of, and let me just move to this side so that we can see. So it will give me 1:727,272,7273. Right, so I will round this off to the nearest unit. So therefore, this scale will be 1:727,273. Guys, let me quickly run through this again. First of all, I'd note that first I wrote it as a ratio 5,5 is to 40 kilometers. I changed my kilometers to centimeters by multiplying this with 100,000. Right? I've ended up with 4 million. Okay? So thereafter, I divided 5,5 with itself. What I do on my left-hand side, I also do on my right-hand side. So therefore, 4 million divided by 5.5, it gave me 727,272,7273. I therefore rounded off to the nearest unit. So the scale of this map is then 1:727,273. Guys, let us take a quick advert break. After the break, we'll continue with our lesson. See you now.